Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel. I hope everybody is doing well. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. And this week, in a little bit, we're going to get into what I want to see in the next season of my favorite TV show that's currently on Netflix right now. But before we do that, I have a little bit of something that I need to get into from last week's video about my 5 favorite villains. For the number 5 entry for Sephiroth, I erroneously made some claims that were untrue. Here they are right now. So in the original video, I spoke a lot about Sephiroth and his backstory a little bit. He was the son of Genova, the headless creature you see in the Shinra building. He actually took the head from one of the Shinra research facilities in Nibelheim. If I have this right, he's like 7 feet tall, and he carries this 5-foot-long katana with him. And it is impressive to see, like seeing a guy like that wield something that big. So after that video went live, my buddy, my pal, my amigo, Rider Pride 639 said, correction, Sephiroth is the son of Lucretia, Vincent's love interest, not Genova. His weapon is a longer version of a katana called a nodachi or odachi. The more you know. So thank you to my bud, my friend, my brother, Rider Pride 639 for the information. Always appreciated, bud. All right, well, let's get into this week's video, and it's something that I've been looking forward to well, I'm not going to say for so long, but I think if you know me, you know my absolute love for this series Cobra Kai on Netflix. It was originally on a YouTube original. It moved to Netflix after YouTube decided to stop original productions, including Cobra Kai. And I am so happy that Cobra Kai is now on Netflix because it reaches a wider audience than YouTube Originals or YouTube Red or whatever they're calling it this week. Cobra Kai is one of those hidden gems that is just so good. It is the continuation of the Karate Kid saga, Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. Maybe the next Karate Kid. We'll get into that in a little bit in this video. And after 3 excellent seasons, we are coming on to season 4, and Netflix has promised that it is coming out this year, and I really hope, I'm holding Netflix to this, that season 4 does come out by the end of the year, because we had to wait until January 1st of this year to get season 4 after the whole pandemic happened and delayed production of season 3. Or it didn't delay production of season 3, it delayed post-production because you had such a long stretch there of where they couldn't get anything done. They couldn't edit, they couldn't do sound mixing or ADR or anything like that. But it was worth the wait. When January 1st came out, I binged the entire season in one day, and when season 4 comes out, I'm probably going to say, don't talk to me for today. I'm only going to watch Cobra Kai. But what do I want to see happen in Cobra Kai? Let's find out now. All right, from here on out, there will be spoilers. So if you've not seen season 3 of Cobra Kai, go watch it. If you haven't seen any of Cobra Kai, go watch it. It is very easily bingeable and just an excellent show. Okay, so at the end of season 3, we saw what happened after the fight at the LaRusso house, which I think that topped the fight at the high school in season 2. It was just much more well done than the school fight. Even though you had everybody going at it in that one, then you just had the core members of Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, or whatever they're calling it now. Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, which is the best name ever. Come on. But you had that close fight at the LaRusso home, and it was well shot from beginning to end. Just everything in that. But we saw what happened at the end, where Daniel and Johnny went to Cobra Kai and confronted Kreese, and oh my god, that was amazing. And then Kreese made the call. I had a feeling who he was making that call to. We saw the flashbacks, which were so well interspersed in that episode of Kreese in Vietnam when his platoon got captured. What was going on with the Vietnamese soldiers, what they were doing to the American soldiers. And it was just so well done, and you learned more of the psyche of John Kreese and where he got that no mercy mentality from. And one of his platoon buddies went on to become Terry Silver, and that's who I figured he made the phone call to at the end of season 3. And sure enough, Netflix came out with a teaser hyping up the return of Terry Silver. So that is the one thing, well, the first big thing that I wanted to see that is confirmed, set in stone. It is going to happen. But with the return of Terry Silver, are we going to see the return of Mike Barnes? So if you've seen The Karate Kid Part 3, you know who I'm talking about when I talk about Mike Barnes, the bad boy of karate. He was hired by Terry Silver to make Daniel's life a living, breathing hell. Now, one thing that Cobra Kai has gotten right has been the return of classic characters from the Miyagi-verse, we're calling it. Of course, Daniel and Johnny, they are the central figures of the show. I don't want to say antagonist and protagonist because right now I'm looking at Kreese as the antagonist. But the original premise of the show was what happened to Johnny after the All Valley Karate Tournament. And that's kind of morphed into something more and something better, I think, with him helping Miguel and all the other kids like Hawk and Aisha and everyone who has joined Cobra Kai from season 1, season 2. And then you have Daniel starting Miyagi-Do with his daughter, Robbie, Johnny's son. That's an interesting parallel right there. And all the other kids who were kind of bullied by Cobra Kai. So to bring it all back to what I talked about before, Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3 befriends Daniel as a sort of plot with John Kreese to get revenge on what happened at the All Valley. Kreese goes into hiding for a little while. Terry Silver says, hey, I can teach you stuff that Mr. Miyagi never taught you and make you a better fighter. Because in Karate Kid 3, Mr. Miyagi didn't want Daniel competing in the tournament again. He already won the first one. Mr. Miyagi didn't believe in fighting tournaments, doing tournaments. You know, karate is more for self-defense than showing off, which I totally get. And just sidebar here, I love how they just kind of, even though Pat Morita has passed on and has been, even though Pat Morita has been gone for so long, Mr. Miyagi still has a heavy presence on this show, and you can feel him in certain episodes. Like in season 1, there's just this beautiful moment of Daniel at Mr. Miyagi's grave. And then in season 3, when Daniel's back in Okinawa and he's talking to Kamiko and she's showing him all these letters from Mr. Miyagi, there's just a beautiful, beautiful moment where he's reading one of the letters, and if nothing else, Cobra Kai knows how to tug at the heartstrings, like big time, if you're a long-time Karate Kid fan like myself. So in Karate Kid 3, with Terry Silver taking Daniel in and making him Cobra Kai, you had the reveal of, oh, I'm just helping my war buddy Kreese out here because you kind of screwed him over, kid, and now we're going to make your life miserable. Mike Barnes is going to kick your ass. So that makes me wonder, with them bringing back characters like Chosen, like Kamiko in season 3, will Mike Barnes return in season 4? We already know Terry Silver's coming back. I would love to see Mike Barnes pop up somewhere in season 3. I have a whole scenario figured out, because where it's going with the story, they're going to have the All Valley tournament where it's going to be the amalgamation of Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang against Cobra Kai Dojo. So you have, on one side, you have Kreese, you have Terry Silver, and then you get Mike Barnes in the mix. So there's 3 pretty lethal senseis right there. And on the other side, all you have is Daniel and Johnny. So kind of a mismatch there. But what if, now stay with me here, what if Daniel makes a call, a long distance call to Okinawa, Japan? He makes a call to Kamiko. He says, can you find Chosen for me? Tell him that there's a plane ticket waiting for him to come to California. I need his help. That would be incredible to have Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen as on one side, and then have Kreese, Barnes, and Silver on the other side. It would be beautiful to see all this. And speaking of the tournament, when you look at it, when you look at everything going into the tournament, like take a look at some of the major rivalries. You have like Miguel and Robbie on one side. You have Hawk and who would be good from the Cobra Kai side to go up against Hawk? Kyler. Yes, Hawk and Kyler. Sam and Tori. Like, there is going to be some interesting matchups here. And I'm sorry, Sam is not the villain of the series, so you can toss that one right out the window. I like Sam. I think Mary Mazura is doing an excellent job as Sam. I can say glowing reviews about everybody in the show. William Zabka, Ralph Macchio, Courtney Heigender, I think is her name. I probably brutally mispronounced that. I'm not even going to try to take a stab at the name of Miguel's actor. I think it's like Zolo, Zolo. But everybody does a fantastic job in this series. Now, speaking of returning characters, there's one big mystery that has been going on since season 2 when we first met the character of Tori Nichols. I think I know who her mother is. So here's where we play theorist, and unlike some fanboys in some universes, I'm not going to be upset if this one doesn't come true. Not looking at anybody in particular, but wait, what? I'm sorry. But anyway, we were introduced to Tori Nichols in season 2 of Cobra Kai, and she's kind of a badass who developed a relationship with Miguel as part of Cobra Kai, but now I think they're leaning more towards her. She's going to start a relationship with Robbie, and that's just a whole soap opera thing that I'm not going to get into right now because I'm not in it for the soap opera. I'm in it for the story. Well, I guess it's kind of a story too, but when you have characters swapping relationships like Sam and Miguel, Sam and Robbie, Miguel and Tori, Tori and Robbie, it looks like Sam and Miguel are going to get back together. So that's some positives there, but I don't think Robbie and Tori are a good match, but that's another theory for another time. We have been wondering who the mother of Tori Nichols is for so long. And I think I know who it is, because if they're bringing in people from the Miyagi-verse, why not Julie? Who's Julie, you may ask? She was the main character in the next Karate Kid, starring Hilary Swank in that role. The only returning character from any of the Karate Kid movies was Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi training Julie. I think at that point, Daniel had already gone on to college. And this is Mr. Miyagi's adventure in Boston, I think it was. I only saw new Karate Kid, next Karate Kid recently, so. And before we go any further, I don't think we're going to see Jaden Smith in this universe, because that was not Miyagi. That wasn't even karate. That was kung fu. So why they couldn't call it the Kung Fu Kid is beyond me, but got to make it snappy. But yeah, I'm really lending credence to the fact that lending credence to the theory that Julie is Tori's mother. And somehow along the way, they're going to bring up Mr. Miyagi again, and Julie is not going to be happy with Tori and everything she's done. Because, you go back to the season 3 finale. Breaking and entering. Bodily harm. Look at all the stuff that Cobra Kai did to the kids in that finale. And it was one of those things where if you're a parent, you should really be like, what the hell? What are you doing? So if you get a confrontation between Daniel and Julie, and one of them says something about Mr. Miyagi, you know Mr. Miyagi? Mr. Miyagi is my sensei. Mr. Miyagi is my sensei. Tori. It's a long shot, but I hope it happens. I hope we see Julie return. And even if she's not Tori's mother, I would love to see Julie come back as like a something to do with the show. Like in that situation, like I just mentioned there with her and Daniel, like my sensei was Mr. Miyagi. He was mine too. And something happens there. I know it's not going to be a relationship because Daniel is happily married. Pronouns, pal. Daniel is happily married, or is he? So I think this is something that's been building up since season 2, and I think, unfortunately, in this season, we're going to see Daniel and Amanda LaRusso just kind of go like that. We've been seeing it kind of like, it's been going like that at the end of season 2, after the giant school fight. You know, you kind of saw it go like that, where Amanda was like, this karate shit ends now. And Daniel's like, yeah, okay. But I think with everything that happened at the end of season 3, that's going to pull Amanda further from Daniel. And I think, I hate to think it, but I think we're going to see the start of Daniel and Amanda's divorce. I don't want to see it personally myself, but I think that's where it's headed. It's one of those things where if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to complain, because I like the chemistry between Ralph Macchio and Courtney Heigener. Again, I don't think that's her name, but it's kind of escaped me right now. So I'm probably totally butchering. But I like the chemistry between the two of them because they work so well together. They look so good together. And I love at the end of season 3 at the Christmas party, Daniel just kind of looks at Amanda and goes, how about we go home and get into some trouble? Oh, yeah. One of my favorite reactions from Real Rejects when Daniel says that to her, and Greg Alba is like, oh, you have no idea. He didn't at that point. I would love to see at the beginning of season 4, Daniel and Amanda's reaction to when they got home and saw the destruction in their house. If season 4 does not begin like that, I'm going to be very disappointed. And that's hard for me to say because nothing Cobra Kai has done has disappointed me to this day. Everything has just been so good. If I had to rank the 3 current seasons that are out right now, season 1 is an A, season 2 is an A-, season 3 is an A+. Season 3 was excellent. I loved the excursion Daniel took to Japan to kind of save his business, but then he goes to Okinawa, and that was just beautiful all the way around. What else? I loved Miguel's story of coming back from adversity. At the end of season 2, Robbie kicked him over the banister at the school, broke his back, and he came back and was able to walk again, but he couldn't get his karate prowess back. He couldn't get it until the end with a fight with Kyler in the LaRusso home. So I thought his story was really good. Everybody's story was just excellent. Even Johnny's, he was, down and out, and he just lost his dojo to Kreese. And the way he came back up to make Eagle Fang, which, I'm sorry, Eagle Fang is an excellent name, but to start a new dojo with his star student, not Robbie, Miguel, was just, William Zabka has just been killing it the past 3 seasons, and I cannot wait for season 4. I'm holding Netflix to the promise that it is coming out by the end of this year, so, So there you have it, what I want to see in season 4 of Cobra Kai, with a little bit of theory sprinkled in. Let me know in the comment section down below what you want to see in season 4. While you're there, don't forget to check out the Irish Bandit shop on redbubble.com. We've got everything that you could ever want. T-shirts, leggings, coffee cups, travel mugs, cases for iPhone, Samsung, iPad, whatever you desire is there on the Redbubble shop. While you're down there, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new here. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell so you'll be notified whenever a new video goes live. I will be back next week with another one of these videos of what I want to see. One show that I've really been enjoying as of late on Netflix. It's raunchy. It's not for everybody. If you're easily offended, you're not going to like it. But I'm not easily offended, and I love it. I think it's one of the funniest shows on Netflix. Has a great cast, including Tom Kenny, Sarah Chalk, David Herman, and one dude I've really been enjoying as of late. Lance Reddick has a guest starring role in it. The character model is of himself, but with bigger testicles. We're going to talk about what I want to see coming up in Paradise PD. Until then, I'm the Bandit, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.